Tech Mayor has been investing a lot of time and effort into analyzing what has been happening at Tesla's Austin factory ever since more GIGA press parts have been shipped via Cybertruck. Tesla purchases its massive die casting machinery from IDRA to produce the mega body cats for the Model Y crossover. Using these tools, production times can be reduced significantly, vehicles can be made more sturdy, and the battery pack can seamlessly integrate into the EVs. In this video, we will answer the price and production update of the Tesla Cybertruck. If you don't want to miss any of these details, keep watching the video. Number 1. What are the machines used for developing the Tesla Cybertruck? As Tech Mayor has reported, each time he sees what appears to be an IDRA GIGA press or related parts arriving at GIGA Texas, Tesla will need to use the same type of die casting machine to construct the Tesla Cybertruck, although the unit that will stamp out electric truck parts will be significantly larger than those used for the Model Y. Number 2. When is the release of the Tesla Cybertruck? Other questions, including when exactly Cybertruck was introduced, remain unanswered. There have been several setbacks in the production of the truck, but on April 7, 2022, CEO Elon Musk reaffirmed that they would still make the vehicle in 2023. The pickup truck, one of the most common US vehicle configurations, is now offered by Tesla. This vehicle is highly unlikely to be produced because of the enormous market for trucks in the United States, as well as the phenomenal success of EVs and pickups. Competition from the Rivian R1D, the GM Hummer EV, and the Ford F-150 Lightning will determine how successful the Cybertruck is for the corporation. Number 3. What is the process of constructing the Tesla Cybertruck? Tesla will construct and test Cybertruck's pre-production units well before commencing formal production. Tesla has received almost 1.6 million pre-orders for the Cybertruck, and although production will begin shortly, there are no immediate plans to produce many electric vehicles. Number 4. What is the Cybertruck's capacity and price range? People have waited years for the Cybertruck, and many may have to wait longer for their preferred vehicle. The Cybertruck can tow up to 14,000 pounds, has a range of more than 500 miles, and is equipped with all-wheel drive. The base price for the least expensive model has been set at $49,900, but this only applies to the most expensive model. Number 5. How many models of the Cybertruck is available? Chevrolet will release an electric Silverado in the coming years, and by 2024, Ram will provide an EV pickup truck. There will be 3 models of the Cybertruck, each with a different number of electric motors. All models, save those with a single engine, will include standard all-wheel drive. Number 6. How many motors the Cybertruck has? The Cybertruck has 1, 2, or 3 electric motors. The 2 and 3 motor variants feature all-wheel drive, whereas the 1 motor variant has just rear-wheel purpose. Tesla claims the Brahma will attain a top speed of 110 miles per hour and accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.5 seconds. The dual-motor Cybertruck is predicted to have a maximum speed of 120 miles per hour and can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds. The 3-motor model, which Tesla claims will essentially teleport from 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds and have a top speed of 130 miles per hour, will appeal to performance enthusiasts. Number 7. What are Cybertruck's promising features? The Cybertruck will include 100 cubic feet of lockable storage space on the outside, as well as onboard power and pressurized air, making it ideal for outdoor activities like camping. Tesla's suspension has a range of 4 inches up or down and can support up to 3,500 pounds. Elon Musk mentioned that the exterior would be redesigned, including removing door handles, although it needed to be clarified how that would work. We now know that the Cybertruck will detect when you are approaching and automatically open the door. We also know that Tesla plans to include the new 4,680 battery cells in the Cybertruck. Number 8. What makes the Cybertruck's batteries special? Tesla claims that the 4,680 battery's spiral shape gives 16 times the range and 6 times the power of its current battery cells, making them a technological marvel. Producing these cells is also anticipated to be cheaper, reducing the truck's final cost. This would be a significant success, especially if Tesla is serious about releasing a $25,000 car next year, because EVs are typically more expensive than gasoline-powered automobiles. The Cybertruck's range is similar to that of other vehicles in that it depends on the specific model you choose. The minimum range that Elon Musk will allow Tesla to offer is 250 miles, and Tesla has already confirmed that this is the case for the single-motor model. Number 9. Why racing the dual-motor Upland variant's range to 300 miles is more impressive. The dry motor type is also anticipated to have a range of over 500 miles on a single charge, which is ludicrous. But this statistic was disclosed before Tesla had to reject the Model S plan, citing the car's predicted range of over 500 miles as excessive. All Cybertrucks feature height-adjustable air suspensions and ground clearance up to 16 inches. The Tesla pickup truck's 35-degree approach angle and 28-degree departure angle might make it a formidable off-road vehicle. If these Cybertrucks can haul as much as Tesla claims, their maximum rating will exceed that of popular alternatives like the Ram 1500. Number 10. How about the driving range? Each model will be outfitted with a 250 kilowatt-hour charging cable and have access to Tesla's massive network of superchargers. The driving range varies depending on the number of motors, although Tesla claims that a single engine has a range of over 250 miles, the dual motor with more than 300 miles, and the tri-motor system on the highest tier should have a range per charge of more than 500 miles. And that completes our video for today. We hope we answered all your questions regarding Tesla's Cybertruck. Which of the features are you most excited about? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content such as this.